Hi, my name is Mallory Barnes, and I am at the Milk House located in Central Nebraska. We are a micro dairy, and we operate with over 200 gallons going out at this moment. So we are a growing business, and it shows. We have been doing a series about our most asked questions, and one of the questions that has been pushed recently is about our jar exchange program. So we throw everything into glass to make sure that we are delivering the best product as possible. Raw milk and raw milk products do better in glass regardless. If you by chance happen to be getting your raw milk in plastic, that's fine, but just know that when you get home, you need to get it transferred to a clean, sterile glass jar of some sort. It will last longer and it will taste better. So we have valued that we've been able to keep this as an all glass operation since we started. There was a few times where I thought this is just too much, and we thought possibly about going to a plastic operation because it is easier and you're done. You don't have to wash. There's a lot that goes into it, but our program works pretty well. We have a jar cart, which is right here, that people return their jars on to when they bring back their empties, and then when they come back in, they pick up their full ones out of the fridge. We expect the jars to come back clean and dry. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and so that's kind of why we're going to do this video as well, is to touch on why and how to make sure you have a good jar returned to us. So after they do get returned here, we do take them through a process where they go through our dishwasher. If I get back down here, they go through our dishwasher that has a clean and sanitized setting, heat dried, and that way we know for sure that our raw milk is going into a clean, sterile jar. It does not matter how clean that jar looks coming back in here, or if somebody even tells us, oh, my jar's clean, no worries, just you can put milk right into it. We don't mess with that. It just, everything goes through this baby right here. So that's important to us because that's kind of the final key in our process to make sure that we're delivering top-notch milk every week. So a little bit that goes into why we would need clean jars back is, first of all, we only have so much time in the day. So somebody returns a jar, and I wish I had a jar last night that I should have kept back and done for this video because it would have been fantastic to show you guys. But everybody has returned a pretty nice jar this round on this jar cart. So everything looks clean. There's no musty, mildewy, nothing. I can crack this open, smell it. There's no stagnant milk smell or anything like that. So this round, these people have done really good. And I will say, most generally, our customers are fantastic about washing jars. They know the importance of sending back good jars. And so, like I said, if we have gross jars come back into this place because somebody just lightly rinsed, put the lid back on, and it got musty in there, and then it takes more time out of our day to hand wash and scrub that and make sure that all of the ick is out of it. And if it's bad enough, we sometimes have to for sure get rid of the lid, which is a cost in itself. So the plastic will absorb that smell, and it is hard to get out of it. Glass does not absorb smell, but it, takes a good scrubbing to get it back clean. What we do expect the jars to come back as is we want them, they are dishwasher safe. The glass can go anywhere, top or bottom. We appreciate if the lids are up top, it doesn't warp them. If you do have a heated cycle to dry them, that will keep the lids in good condition, but they can still handle that. We like it when you don't just straight from the dishwasher, it has a little water in it, maybe. Open it up and let it air dry so that you don't capture moisture in that jar. And then once it's air dried, cap it and bring it back to us. It's just fine. You can hand wash if you're in a crunch. Hand wash real quick, let it air dry, cap it, bring it back. Last resort for me is if you don't have time to wash it and you're coming back here, or however, whatever the situation is, my last resort for people to do is to rinse well with hot water and to let it air dry as much as possible, or don't put the lid on it, let it air dry, preferably upside down if you can, so that it doesn't leave any more water in there to dry and leave watermarks. But that will get it back to us in a state that we can get it cleaned back up. What you don't want to do is lightly rinse it and put the lid back on. That's the worst. Well, I say the worst. The worst is when nobody even puts any rinse on it and caps it and brings it back. And we actually have legit milk around the lid area, in the bottom. It's coated on the sides, and it reeks when it gets back here. So it's not our responsibility to clean those like that. Our responsibility is to get them from this clean state into our dishwasher and get it run through the cycle again so it's ready for the next round of raw milk. So we do have a great customer base that this hardly ever happens with. Sometimes I'll bump them on Facebook or on a social media and just say, hey guys, we need you to bring back your jars clean. And I also give people a customer packet at the very beginning on their first purchase that does explain how we want the jars back and stuff. So I do think that's helped as well, to keep our customers bringing back a good jar. So sometimes that gets overlooked and people bring them back, but as long as we keep everybody in the now of how they need to be treated, then we can make sure that we're putting great jars back into the rotation that are easily cleaned and taken care of. We do have them jostled around a lot between many different people, so we do occasionally have some break. If that happens, we touch base with the customer. We know it happens. If it was kind of a random deal, no big deal. We're not going to peg another jar deposit on them. If it's truly just because it was mishandling and not, then we will do another round of jar deposit. But most everybody is just fine doing that because they realize how valuable it is to have these jars in rotation, and it's what makes this business click and keeps it at the quality it does, because we do keep everything in glass still. So that's our little tidbit for the week, and I'm glad that you stuck with me this long. Our jars are important to us, and you got to treat them just as important as they are to us as they are to you. So you can join us next time for the next question that we got, and watch our YouTube channel to see what all we have going on at the milk house.